Yeah. So speaking of Albon, then if we just go back to Red Bull for a moment, by about lap 7, Albon was about 10 seconds behind Verstappen and was kind of struggling to make up on the Renaults.
Mm.
I'm still not yet particularly convinced that this isn't just Verstappen being on a completely different level. Albon had a particularly good overtake on Perez into the bus stop.
Yep.
He obviously overtook Gasly at one point. It was a bit later than it really should have been. He needed to get past a little bit earlier. He was on those mediums. He needed to take advantage of having a bit of extra pace.
Yeah.
Didn't quite do it, but he did have a nice long stint on them, so that was quite good. It's kind of hard to really say Albon did anything wrong when compared to Verstappen. I think just, the gap between them is there because, Verstappen is just a very, very special driver and it's always going to, it's the Verstappen curse, isn't it, at Red Bull? Who can really match him?
Verstappen's just very good and he's obviously had a lot more experience in that car. So he's got the time behind him. Like I said, Verstappen had a solid performance and did everything expected of him to finish P3. Kept up with the Mercedes for actually the most of the race, to be honest. Fell back
and
towards
kept
the
Bottas
end.
honest as well.
Yeah,
Definitely
exactly.
kept Bottas
Apart
honest.
from the last couple of laps where they all kind of separated because I think they knew that they were going to finish 1, 2, and 3, and they were all probably nursing their cars. Kept Bottas honest and almost had a couple of fights, but back to Albon. Different strategy towards Max. They mixed up the strategy again, and Red Bull are very good at suggesting alternative strategies and reacting to not reacting to qualifying your plan once you've qualified, but reacting in the race. And P6, it's all right. It's acceptable. I would have liked to seen him get in front of in front of Ricardo and Ocon. And finish
a surprise strong result from Renault pushed him back a bit further.
It's just a shame that he couldn't. I feel like Albon just needs a good finish or two to finish directly behind Verstappen, instead of a couple of cars in between them. So it will come. I think he's still got time. It wasn't a terrible race for him, and that's the main thing. It was a good race by him. There's some good overtakes, some good defending, and brought the car home at the end of the day and scored some good points. Scored 8 points for the team.
Sort of a year on from his move to Red Bull, isn't it? So
exactly 1 year. Yeah.
It's. I thought it was generally a good performance. It's always going to be hard to match Verstappen. Again, surprise Renault result pushed him back a bit further. Had a good stint on the mediums, so kind of hard to fault Albon much. Maybe a little bit slower getting past Gasly than he should have been, but that's about it really for me.
We say it's a year on, and obviously it is because he started in the Belgian Grand Prix last year, but usually there's only a 3 or 4 month gap over the winter break. Between drives. So he did half a season last year and then had 4 months off, which then turned into 8 or 9 months off. So actually he's not had a great deal of time in that car. He had a lot of time in the car last year, did half a season. But then, whereas Verstappen's had 3 years in that car now, Albon's jumped in this year, only racing for 6 months in the Red Bull, and is expected to put it all together within the first couple of weeks. So actually, given his situation, I'm very happy with him and how he's performed. Especially in this race, to be honest. Yeah, I'm happy.